What's up, guys, and welcome back to this week's episode of the podcast. Spurs are shit, Levy's bold, Ange out, Spencer's the GOAT. We'll catch you next week. Right, no, we will actually do this week's episode, but if I'd have left it there, it would have been fucking warranted.
Yeah.
Right. We're not even going to bother introducing Harry. He's already spoken. So
Yeah.
He's here every week. I don't even need to introduce him anymore.
Yeah, it's fine,
Hi,
guys.
I'm Harry.
Man.
I'm a wizard.
Yeah. Right. Magic some players onto the pitch.
Let's talk about Thursday first, because
that was the most.
What a waste of an hour and a half of my life.
Yeah. But you know what? I actually predicted we would draw the game. I felt disappointed. I was like, I feel like I overestimated how good we are, which is kind of weird because we're pretty shit.
Do you know what? I don't even feel like it was that. I feel like because AZ weren't even very good.
That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what annoys me the most. They weren't very good, and we didn't even. It wasn't like Bournemouth it wasn't like City where we had chances and couldn't finish. Against City, Odegaard had a couple of chances. You know, there were more than enough opportunities against City that we could have comfortably equalised the game, right? Against AZ, there wasn't.
We had one shot on target. We had a thing
it's embarrassing, honestly. Like I say, again, they were poor.
From what I remember, apparently the shot was actually across on me. Because I don't remember it, because I was like, what shot?
What are you talking about?
Sunday. You know the game is Alkmar apparently had one shot on target. So I asked them.
Oh yeah, it was across
target. Right. Apparently it was actually across.
I don't know.
But that's something I didn't know.
What I will say is AZ, and I will we gave him a lot of criticism at the start of the year, and he has grown a lot. Bergvall was really unlucky to concede that, and
I still know what I said. I wouldn't have played him in the game because we're away from home, and I would have played Star 100%.
To be honest with you, after he was one of the only players that was actually.
For me, I just want more defensive players in an away game.
I think, to be honest with you, he was actually only one of the positive players in that game. He was picking the ball up. No, but he drove with the ball forward more times.
That's something I've never seen from a Spurs midfield in about 50 years.
Fuck me.
This is what we come to. We're clutching at a player running with the ball forward as if it's a positive. This is ridiculous. This is insane. Has Levy really and Ange really pushed our standards this low? Obviously he has. So I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, well, we drove the ball forward. I could fucking get the ball and run the ball forward.
All right. Taking his mistake out, he was one of the more promising players on the pitch. But what I will say, again, and I can't believe we're going to say this again, but the best fucking player on the pitch, again, was Spence. But I don't understand it. This level that he set is unbelievable. He must be looking around these fuck tiles going, when did I go back to the Championship? The level
one player,
it's bad. Yeah, I don't think Danso was particularly bad. I think him, Gray, and Spence. Ironically, I actually don't think our defence was the problem against AZ Alkmaar. The midfield had no forward-thinking mindset at all.
Because the midfield he picked, was a fucking mess. Okay.
Yeah.
Madison, fair enough. You need an attacking player, but what does he do?
But Madison was crap. He was so crap.
What did he do? He plays the system against Madison. I'm sorry. The system is. I'm not saying Madison's the best player, by the way. He's a good player. He's inconsistent, but you still play system like we saw against Bournemouth again, where it plays against Madison's strengths again. And not only that, right? He plays Bergvall with him. No offense to Bergvall, he should not be playing in the midfield with Madison and maybe because they hit the push, but with Madison. Away from home, especially even away from home for me is even the worst selection. And then Bentancur, because we don't really play with the 6, let's be honest. Because Ange don't play with no 6 because he's an idiot. He's the only player at a push can play more defensive, right? And even then, people forget Bentancur was a more box spot player before Ange came in, right? He actually was playing with Højbjerg. So he's kind of doing a job there, let's say, at a push. And I compare him now to kind of Flamini at Arsenal, where he was doing the same sort of job. Yeah. But they weren't great at it. They were right at it.
What's frustrating me the most, though, is
what kind of crap midfield is this? And it's not to do with the actual individuals. It's just the selection of the variation of the players.
Combinations. What's pissing me off the most, though, and I do think there are actually a lot of problems with our midfield at the moment, and the way the midfield's set up. But what's annoying me the most is our best 2 players outside of Kulusevski and obviously Solanke's been injured for a period, our best two players in the last 6 months were both in the Championship 3 years ago. Archie Gray and Jez Spence. They're the only two players that provide any level of You can say what you like about Archie Gray in terms of where you think his ability is at, but he has been one of the only consistent players in the last 6 months. He has dropped to 6 or 7 out of 10. He's not a player that's full of mistakes. He plays the basic balls. He doesn't set the world alight. And this is why I think, and I keep saying it,
I compared it to Ben Davies because he does the job. That's about it.
He does the job. But I think the problem is the way we play doesn't show what Archie Gray is truly capable of. But the fact that the only two players right now that have been consistent base level performance week in, week out for the last 6 months have been Spence and Gray.
Just Spence in the past 3 months has been consistent. And that's like one player in like 25 players. And Kulusevski would have said over the whole season, but he's been injured now. But
he's injured, yeah. Same reason why you can't include Van der Ven and whatever in that situation.
Van der Ven, apparently, statistics not very good about the amount Van der Ven and Romero played. Someone showed me it's like my games.
Something else I'd say as well is, had it not been for Vicario, if we'd have had Forster in goal, that tie would have been over.
Even though Vicario didn't come himself in glory on the weekend either. So, yeah. It's passing out the back nonsense, man, especially against a team like Bournemouth.
But I actually saw a video on that. We'll talk about that when we talk about the Bournemouth game. But yeah, we're lucky it's only 1-0. Do I think we'll turn it around? Probably just. I wouldn't be surprised if we're winning 1-0 for ages and then they get a last-minute equaliser.
I think they're going to...
If I had to put my money on it right now, I'd say Tottenham to go 1-0 up in the first 30 minutes and then to get like an 87-minute equaliser.
And then we're out.
Then we're out. Honestly, and do you know what? The minute we're out of this competition, I want his P45 and I want him gone. I'd sack him even if we go through, but that's not going to happen.
Hold on. This is March 2025. I want him gone from like February 2024. This guy's been standing. You know what annoys me the most about Sunday's fucking game, yeah? Before they scored, he says nothing.
Have we finished talking about AZ now?
He says nothing, right? Then they score and he suddenly wakes up like, mate, where the fuck have you been for the past half hour?
Right, let's finish talking about the next game. One thing I hate when you do this.
Yesterday.
Yeah, so obviously you guys will know the outcome of the Europa League game by the time this is finished, by the time this comes out. But yeah, I'm
not confident at all. I think let's think it out with like 10 men behind the ball and just stick us out, to be honest.
I do think we'll get a goal early on. I think we'll lose. I think we'll draw 1-1, lose 2-1 on the aggregate, personally. But yeah, it was an abysmal showing. Right, Sunday, as you keep trying to move on to it.
The team selection was shambolic. That's what I'm going to say from the start. Like that
it was a bit weird, wasn't it?
The midfield he picked was like, what? Like, don't get me wrong. I sat here and not bigged up Bergvall because I'm not going to big up players I don't think are that great. Like, they're all right, but I would have played Bergvall I was starting against Bournemouth at least.
Can we just say, by the way, 100% I was wrong about the Spence selection, and he played Spence in both, so technically we were both wrong.
Yeah, we are both wrong.
We
didn't get results in the game, really. So.
Yeah, exactly. I do kind of understand why he didn't play Udogie on Sunday, because he's still building up fitness. And I
don't have an issue with, to be honest.
And like I say, I do think, again, what's frustrating me, and I saw this video the other day, right? So I actually saw it earlier. So I can't remember who it was. Two celebrities, pundits, whatever. We're having a conversation about Vicario and passing out the back. And it was Wayne Rooney on Match of the Day. And
great source. He was out the back. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, they were saying that if the manager insists you pass out the back, do you pass out the back till you're blue in the face, even if it's to your downfall, or every so often do you hoof it along and do what you want in the hopes of preventing the situation? Now, if it was me personally and I was a football coach, I would say, do what I've asked. If it's wrong, I would take the hit. If I tell you, under no circumstances can you play it long, you have to play it short, and you play it short, listen for a second.
I would say play out the back if you've got space. If you don't, fucking bang it on.
Yeah, right, okay. No, but what I'm saying to you is, if I was a manager and I told you to play a certain way, and I said, do this a certain way, then I would take responsibility on the times you did that way and went wrong.
Mistakes, yeah.
And then if you do it the other way, if you hoof the ball long and no one's ready for it and we intercept it, we can see that's your fault because I've told you explicitly not to do that. So I get why Vicario is still passed down the back, even to his detriment, because Ange has made it very clear that is the only way he wants us to play. Right?
I mean, we know he only has one way to play anyway.
Do I agree with that at this point in time? No. Do I agree with the process of saying stick to your principles? To a degree, it's great if your principles are okay. His principles are just suicidal at the moment, at least. I don't know. Anyway, so I don't blame Vicario because he's doing as he's told.
I know. I agree.
You can't blame a player, and this is what I say about a lot of these players. For the majority of them, you can't blame them for certain decisions because they're being told explicitly to do certain things. I think this is where now we need to take that frustration about the way we're playing and put that into the manager as equally, and I know you have been for a couple of months, but I think as a fan base as a whole, we need to put that into the manager as much as the players, because when you play a certain, like I played football on Sunday, right? I went to the park with a mate, sun was shining, spent the day like here in Milton Keynes, came home, put away some stuff, did some washing up, whatever, and then another mate says to me, should we go and play football because it's nice and sunny? So I went to Sports Direct, bought Premier League football, first one I've owned since I was a kid, went to a park near mine, and there were some kids playing like an 11-a-side game, and being refereed by one of the dads. And we were kicking around inside. He said, come and join in. So I went on one team, my mate went on the other. By the way, Bags man, 5 goals. Yes, I went around celebrating playing against a bunch of kids. Who cares? To be fair, one of them, I took a touch of my right foot and banged it. It went just off the post and in.
You're better than Tell, and I don't even never see you play. You're better than Tell already.
To be fair, when we went to a penalty shootout, my mate scored 2 against me and I scored 1 and I missed 4 of them. I was trying to put him in the corner, straight at him. Anyway, 1 I nutmegged him and he still saved it. Don't ask, I don't know. But anyway, not the point. I can't even remember what the point I was getting onto, but but yeah, I don't really can't remember the point of what I was saying there. What were we talking about before?
Vicario, and then it was.
Players doing this. Yeah. So, that was the point I was trying to make. So, when you play football when you're younger, right? There's a sense of freedom about the way you play.
Yeah.
You're yes, I want you to play a certain way. I want you to hold the ball more. I want you to play shorter passes more. But there also comes an element of freedom and an element of common sense within the way you play, right? We've become, like, people accuse Pep of isolating players and making players so robotic to play his certain system. Now, Pep has the top 1% of players or top 5% of players, and he's able to do that because his system is sustainable. Well, I mean, his system isn't even sustainable. You see the way City play, they do get exposed quite a bit, specifically when they play Tottenham.
They still beat us.
But because he's got the top 5% of players, 9 times out of 10, he'll get a result, right? I still stand by my point that if Ange was in the Dutch league with by far the best team, or he was in Portugal with Benfica, or he was in Holland with Ajax, then I think he'd probably play this way because other teams just haven't got the quality and haven't got the legs to keep up. The fact of the matter is, Tottenham don't have the top 1% of players in the league, or the top 5%, or top 30%, or top 90% at this point.
At this point,
barring a few individuals.
Yeah.
And so we don't have the players to absolutely maximise the way we want to play. Now, part of this problem is, 1, down to Levy because he hasn't given him the 1% of player. 2, down to Ange because you need to at least adapt ever so slightly for a bit of common sense. Like Son played a lot better at the weekend because he was an inside forward again, not a touchline winger. You know this, so why are you doing it once in every 7 games or once in every 12 games?
Think then the players do it themselves at some points.
I think he's just saying, Son, just move wherever it takes to get a goal.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
And then Son's naturally doing that. Because, and he had 1 or 2 that went wide past the post as well, kind of like the old school days.
Yeah,
and he got unlucky not to score one as well. So for me, I sit there and I think you've got to adapt a little bit. I'm not saying completely change your philosophy. You know my opinion. Everyone knows my opinion. I'm anti changing your principles just for the sake of getting a result. But I'm not anti tweaking 1 or 2 little things of common sense, like Son being an inside forward, like maybe the way you set up your midfield. You know what I mean? Little things like what makes me really, really angry is he's done it before. we were sat here 6 months ago when we were saying, oh, Udogie stopped tucking inside and now he's going out wide and giving us the width. And that's allowing Son to play as an inside forward. Oh, look, Son scored 2 goals. Brilliant. And now we're saying again, and we haven't seen that since.
Let's invert again,
yeah. It's like, what the fuck? And even me, I do like Ange as a person, but I'm slowly getting sick of...
The players are... taking on to themselves, which is why, when you look at these small, we beat City 4-0. Okay, fair enough. We beat this team 4-0, not playing Ange ball. A lot of people said, well, either some people crazy enough to argue we're playing Ange ball, which is fucking insane, or they're saying, well, Ange adapted. Well, Ange, after the Liverpool game that we drew, we
said we don't adapt.
1-0, in the cup goes, well, I played with the 3 midfielders I had or something, and they were more reserved midfielders, to use that phrase.
Yeah.
But he basically admitted he didn't adapt. It was basically circumstantial. So the fact that they pushed us back, the midfielders took...
And we naturally had 3 attacking midfielders because if it wasn't the people that he wanted, if it was the people he wanted, then it wouldn't have been the same outcome.
This
is the thing that's annoying me the most as well, is the fact that...
He's telling on himself. A lot of people just...
kind of. And I think the thing that frustrates me the most is... You can see glimpses with certain players in moments, and yet it's not often enough. And I think the thing that pisses me off the most now, that's really starting to wind me up, is we could build... we've said this before. We said this the other week about results building confidence. Confidence allows you to play the way you want to play a bit better. If he just tweaked it slightly to go on a good, consistent run of results. You look at Brighton. Brighton's a great example. Brighton was shit for ages, right, under his new manager. They were up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. They lost 7-0 to Nottingham Forest. He tweaked it slightly. They went on a good couple of results. And now Brighton are playing almost identically to the way they were playing at the start of the season, but getting results. Why? Because he got results first. It built confidence that then it gave the players the belief they could play the way he wanted. And he tweaked it back bit by bit by bit. And now he's playing the same way he was at the start of the season.
That's a very old school mentality thing. I'm saying it's right, by the way. Because what people used to say is to
go back to basics and build it back up again.
Get results, then the players will be more likely to buy into your philosophy because they'll be like, this man is winning us games. Okay, let's try this. I don't know, whatever.
I don't even think it's as complicated as that. I think a lot of it is to do with confidence and belief. Look, do you know, right? I say this about goalkeepers all the time. If you're a goalkeeper and the first shot that's at you is a hard save and you make it, you're more likely to make the next 10 saves than if it's an easy save and you make it, or if it's a difficult save and it goes in. If you're on the edge of the box, right? If you're a goalkeeper and on the edge of the box, someone takes a touch, curls in the top corner, you're literally fingertips, can't quite reach it and it goes in. In the back of your mind, you'll be going, fuck, what if I'm fingertips off the next one? And the simpler saves you're going to overthink and overcomplicate. If someone's bending it to the edge of the post and you dive to the bottom, fingertips, flick it past the post, when the next one comes in, you're going to go, I'm the fucking man. And you're going to have that belief and that aggression in that way.
Number one, this week, I'm talking about just the week, he blamed the pitch, which I think...
I can't stand that, man. That's such an Arsenal thing. Fuck off.
Excuse. That's why I tweeted, is he going to blame the sun if we don't beat Bournemouth? He didn't say that. And then
it was lovely and sunny on Sunday, though.
That's what I said.
The windows down, blaring.
The sun was in our eyes. We couldn't see. That's why we couldn't see a 2 goal. But and also the fact, did you hear his comments about the fans? And I'm like, the anxiety.
No, I saw enough of the replies to Rio to know that I'd be too angry if I watched it, so I didn't watch it.
Like for me, I was like.
But I'm sure you're going to tell me what it was now anyway.
Basically, he was saying anxiety of the crowd or something like that. And a lot of people took that as though he's blaming the fans, kind of indirectly.
To be fair, though, I actually saw someone quote that clip, and that's how I saw that comment had been mentioned in the first place. And I saw someone say that, to be honest with you, unless we're playing the Big Six or West Ham, our atmosphere's pretty pants.
Then I see it as though, when you've got madmen playing out the back against, by the way, Bournemouth are the best, statistically apparently, pressing team in the league.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, what kind of common sense is that? You're playing a team that's really, statistically, even when we use these stats, are the best in pressers in the league. So what do?
Yeah.
You change your football. You play longer balls because they're going to hit you. What they did is they did the same what Alkmaar did against us in midweek, sort of.
Yeah.
They left 3 or 4 players near the keeper because they knew we would play it out. Then what they did, they just dropped. As soon as they went to the fullbacks, the centre halves, they just dropped because they knew that we would push up anyway. And it was very simple tactics. Like, this isn't even difficult. I could probably implement this with a half-decent team. And to be honest, against the Tamworth game...
I won't go that far.
The Tamworth game, right? After that game, I was thinking I could probably score against Tottenham because we were so bad. To 100 minutes score against Tamworth, it was an own fucking goal. But these are semi-pros. But like, for me, the Brighton's been on the wall for ages with Ange, and I think if he loses against Alkmaar, we don't get through. I think he probably will get sacked because
I think so. Yeah.
If the reports are true that he's on his last string, what the phrase is.
Yeah, I think that's getting there. One thing I will say though, and I'm going to say this now before he doesn't get sacked. I want Ryan Mason out the door with him. Go and get a proper job, mate. Stop being a part-time, wannabe private contractor who just steps in when the big man gets the job failed. No, I don't want to see Ryan Mason in the dugout. I'd rather see fucking Jermaine Defoe in the fucking dugout. Do you know what I mean? Get Peter Crouch in there. Do you know what I mean?
Big Harry back for a few games.
Yeah, mate, listen, at this point, what the fuck? I think the problem is, like I say, it's not even that his footballing philosophy is bad. It's the way he's implementing it. It's stupid.
What do you mean? What do you classify as philosophy? Because for me, if his
philosophy about high possession, high intensity, pass at the back, short, quick passes, that's what his traditional style is built upon. We haven't seen us play like that since after we lost to Chelsea. That, in principle, is not bad. And I like his philosophy on paper, but the way he's implemented when he's got the best players in a lower league to having mid-level players in an intense league, he's not translated those tactics at all. And the difference between... Let me give you guys a good example of that. So the guys will watch the FM save. So I created a treble-winning tactic with Wolfsburg, right? I had Ruben Diaz as centre-back, 32-year-old Ruben Diaz as centre-back. I had 3 of the best wonder kids in the world up front. I had 2 outstanding ballers in midfield. I had high, quick... Actually, Pedro Porro is one of my wing-backs. I had good wing-backs, a great, solid defence, good keeper. And we won the treble, right? We won, I think, 4 league titles in 6 years at Wolfsburg. It was a good record, actually. And I'm using that exact same tactic at Portsmouth, but I've dropped the height of the defence one step from high to mid-level. I've changed the wing-backs from attacking to support, and I've tweaked the role of the central of my 3 attackers to drop off slightly to receive the ball from midfield as they haven't got as high a passing quality. I'm currently in the playoff run with a team that was expected to get relegated, and I've only signed 3 players and 2 players on loan. So you can take a good philosophy and a good idea and a good style of wanting to play, make 1 or 2 minor changes, and it can make the world of difference.
My biggest issue with Ange and his philosophy, or whatever you want to call it, is the fact he doesn't play with the holding midfielder. And that's my biggest issue with it. Because you can invert, that's fine, invert them. But then sign wingers that can actually play on the touchline and cross the ball. Johnson is your player, 50 million. He ain't crossed with his...
Johnson is, I hate to say it, Johnson's got more in common with Dele Alli than he has with a winger. Because if you notice, the positions he takes up...
He wasn't even a winger at Forest. Why didn't he come on the right? I just don't get it. I don't think. And then can't cross either. Like, he really can't cross that much. And Sonny was never a real proper winger, was he really? He was more like a...
No, he's more of an inside. He was a winger for the very first year at Tottenham, and then after the seatbelt kit, so the last year at the Lane, he slowly became more of an inside forward, and then that's where we went to.
Like, Joe's commented that. But like, what I'm saying is, we don't have the players to even play this inverted winger thing inverting the fullbacks, for example, and playing proper wingers, because the wide players he uses, especially Johnson... He ain't a winger, man. I'm with you. He's more like Dele. I've always said that. And obviously, Son was never...
And we've said that as well. Like, the more and more... Like, you look at all Johnson's goals, they're all tapping into the back post. There's nothing wrong with that. We've said, like, he's moving into the right positions, where at the very start, when he first came to Tottenham, he wasn't. It's great. The amount of goals he's scored is brilliant. He's playing well, whatever.
He's that good of a footballer. But I kind of feel sorry for him because he's like playing it out.
No, I don't think he's that good either. But what I'm saying is the fact that he's effective when he's used as a player in the 6-yard box, making a tap at the back post. But like we've said, when we had remember we did that whole graphic of this is the box. When the winger's on the left, Johnson moving to the back post is great. When if the shoe's on the other foot, can he get the ball into the box?
No, he can't. No.
You know, I'd much rather, I honestly truly think at this point we'd be better playing Johnson and Solanke up top together.
In a 4-4-2?
No, just in some capacity up top together, then I would. At this point, I honestly think we'd be better playing a diamond and playing Archie Gray at the base of the diamond, playing Sarr and, just hear me out, Sarr and Bentancur, playing one of Maddison or Bergvall, playing one of Son and Johnson, or Son and Solanke, or that kind of combination, having the wing-backs go forward. As the wing-backs go forward, Archie Gray drops slightly just ahead of the two centre-backs, and then we're effectively playing in a 3-4-1-2. That's my philosophy anyway. That's how I would set up a team personally. Yeah. But I think Archie Gray's proven enough at centre-back that he could do that job. And then if you've got Van der Ven and Danso, or Van der Ven and Romero, that gives them the space to play the balls out wide. The wing-backs can get high and wide. You've got 3 people in the box instantly because you've got 2 strikers in your 10. You've got 2 runners that can get into the box as your box-to-box midfielders. They've got the legs to get back if you need to. I think right now, honestly, if we were to play that way, and I'm not just saying this because it's my footballing philosophy, because my footballing philosophy has adapted a lot over the years. If I was playing in a squad where I felt like we had 3 centre-backs all capable of playing out the back, or 2 more defensive midfielders, I'd start in a 3-5-2. But I don't think we've got the players in midfield for that. So I'd rather have Archie Gray drop into centre-back. Centre-backs can push wide when we're defending, and then when we're attacking, they can tuck in. Archie Gray can move forward.
I trust Gray as the DM. That's the only thing. I just don't think he can do it on his own.
Regardless, I'm not going to become Tottenham manager, so it doesn't really matter. But do you know what I mean? Like, I think we've got the quality there.
Played him there.
That's right. This is another thing that really, 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 really annoyed me about Sunday. People can say what they like about Gray, and I know you have your opinions, and I still think in the long run you'll be proven wrong. But with Gray, he's proven to be consistent. He's shown his passing ability. He's shown his ability to drive the ball. Why did he not? You cannot tell me that Ange saw Gray and went, yeah, I'm bringing him in as a right back, or I'm bringing him in as a centre back. He didn't think that. He was a holding midfielder. He's been a holding midfielder in his youth academy years.
He played England youth teams right back at Leeds last season, mostly.
He did, but
unfortunately, I think Ange sees him as a utility player. Like, he's only going to play him all around the defence.
See, but that for me is so wrong for a young player who wants to establish himself as. I gave Ange the benefit of the doubt because of injuries, and I believe that Gray needed time to edge into the squad.
As in, if he is a number 6, I still have my doubts, to be honest. But say, let's assume, by hypothetically speaking, he's a number 6. So why, if you develop a player like, I don't even think Bergvall's that great, he's all right. But at least Bergvall's playing in his position on the most part. Not every game, but on the most part, he's playing hard to pitch. He shouldn't be playing deeper like he was earlier in the season. I remember when I went there. But what I'm saying is, at least he's playing at least in the right, supposedly the right position most of the time, 90% of the time, let's say. But Gray, I've been told time and time again, he's a number 6. Ange has never played in number 6. Whether that's to do with the fact that he doesn't think Gray's capable of it, and I don't like Ange.
I don't think he's. Well, I didn't think it was that until Sunday.
Play with a 6, which is another thing.
But even my point, though, if you're saying that you don't think Gray is a 6, and you think Gray's more of a progressive ball carrier, then that actually fits the way Ange plays even more so. So it doesn't make even more sense as to why he started Bentancur on Sunday. That's what made me so angry.
There's a reason why he played Bentancur. There isn't why, because he can't play against Alkmaar.
Oh yeah,
he's got that one booking. That's why. You could have played.
That's just a stupid reason.
If you wanted to push it, you could have played midfielder Gray, Bentancur, and Bergvall. If you wanted to really gamble.
But my point is though, right? Gray's been playing twice a week for fucking ages. So show him that you got faith in him rather than just using him to keep doing a job.
Everyone, like me, says as soon as the senior players come back, he was always going to put in Romero and Van der Ven. I think are nailed on to play on Thursday. I think.
Yeah, because his job's on the line, and if he doesn't play them and then loses his job, then
and I knew who'd switch them. Like, I even said to my dad, he's going to take off Romero for Van der Ven because he's going to want to rest him. And he said off the game.
To be fair, that's the one. I'm not even going to give it as a positive because it's common sense, but that's the one development he has played from last time. Yeah. He's learned to wind players back in slowly but surely. Solanke, I'm glad he's not injured. Touch wood. But Solanke got unlucky against Alkmaar. He was only on for a short period. It wasn't all that intense, whatever. People, by the way, and I saw someone on Twitter, fucking idiot. I saw someone calling Solanke lazy on Thursday. He's just come back from injury. If you think he's going to press like he's just played 30 games a season, it's not going to happen.
He's really not fit because he played at the start of the Bournemouth game, right? And I watched him. He clearly wasn't fit.
No, he's not fit, no.
And he wasn't pressing the same way. But that's understandable. I think him Kulusevski and a few others were in the red zone like a month or two ago because
Yeah.
they were so overplayed. Ange overplayed
Yeah.
them so much. And we're lucky, touch with our fullbacks. Okay, so of course Dogi got that long injury, but our fullbacks have picked up knocks and injuries. Like Spence hasn't been injured for like a long period of time because
Spence's fitness levels are unbelievable.
But again, you take credit for Spence. Hold on, you didn't play him till like flipping halfway through the season. Like this guy is just gaslighting people, and he's talking.
And then he's playing them when he needs them, and then dropping them again. It's just shit. Isn't it?
It's like, yeah, I made Spence. Yeah, you really knew, mate. You really knew,
I think the thing that's starting to annoy me the most as well is when he first came in, I could see how his ideologies and his approach and the way he handled players fit what Tottenham represent. He's a shadow of that now, and I think the way he's reacted to certain players where he's taking credit when they play well, but then throwing them under the bus when they haven't. Werner's a bad example because it's very shit. But I think players like Archie Gray, for example, he's dropped solid enough performances to keep you in a job. You have an opportunity to play him in an important game and prove to him that you believe in him being more than anything other than your spare lid. He's treating Archie Gray like clean film when you've lost your Tupperware pot. You're not what I really need, but you'll do for now.
Yeah.
That's not fair on him. He's proven that he can be as effective as a Tupperware pot. Lid. That's a great metaphor.
It's a great reference.
I know. So why aren't you treating him like he's a plastic Tupperware pot? Why are you still keep treating him like he's clean film? Do you know what I mean?
I wish I knew the answer to that, but I don't.
Well, yeah, he's just starting to come across a bit like a cunt now, and I think the thing that upsets me the most about that is the fact that I can take pride in saying, apart from Conte, because I didn't like not his outbursts, I just didn't like his demeanour as a whole. I think for the majority part in my lifetime, I don't really feel there's been a Spurs manager that doesn't reflect Tottenham in the way they act and behave. Apart from maybe Sherwood, because he was a bit of a loose cannon.
He was only for there for 3 months, though.
Yeah, I know, he's still a
for me,
but I think Ange is slowly now becoming someone that if we as Tottenham, if he was managing like West Ham or he was managing Arsenal, he was managing Chelsea, we as Tottenham fans would despise him.
I'm going to boo it.
And it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that at the start. And I think
I guess I was one of the few that didn't really buy into this Ange nonsense when he was talking at the beginning. I was like, yeah, this guy's just doing the PR nonsense.
No, but even his demeanour and the way he held himself was so much better than now. And I think he's lost his way a little bit. And maybe it's because he's realised the job's too big. Or
I think he's just making every week I just hearing a different excuse after every.
Yeah.
I wonder what is if we don't go through what he was going to say. Oh, well, the boys tried. They're still fighting. The season's over, mate. Like I don't think you'll have anything left if we don't go through on Thursday. Like. I don't know what he's
I think that's gone now.
What I'm saying is, like, for me, I like Conte because not just because of his like outburst, of course, but like I like the fact that he's passionate, the fact that he's like I just love that. Like Jose was another one. We both like Jose, and that's more historically speaking. But like for example, at the Martignol, and I know you weren't around then. But the guy, like the fans loved Joel, and a lot of people were really angry when he got sacked. Like they loved Joel. He gave Spurs back what they wanted, and he would play your so-called attacking football for the most part apart from when we played against the bigger games, where like Chelsea, Arsenal, where he would change it and play just a bit more defensive because naturally, we're playing at that point like an elite Chelsea under Jose, an elite Arsenal still under Wenger. Because bear in mind, Joel came in at 05, so that was just after the Invincibles. Man United still under Ferguson. Like he had really tough teams, and the fact that he finished twice in 2 years is quite incredible if you think about it. And we should have really finished fourth. I mean, his first full year, to be honest, but one was for Lasagna. But and since teams he was playing against, the results he was getting, like he drew out old.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Liverpool quite decent at the time still. But like what I'm saying is, there was so many harder teams, but the difference is that he was a likable person, right? I
think Ange was at the very start, but he hasn't been like it for ages.
Yo knew where he came from. Like he knew he was from the Dutch league. He did himself to the fans because he was very humble. He would always make jokes, and you could tell he was like the fans loved Joel. I really want to meet him one day. He's quite old, but like. He was literally my childhood, really, Martignol. My first guy to Tottenham in like 05, 06, whatever. But like he was likable. Again, AVB wasn't the best manager, but at least I had some sort of likability with him. And remember, he used to say, "We is us." Do you remember that? We is us. Obviously, Renat.
Yeah, still don't like AVB.
But like for me, that he was more. I found him more warm, more like humble, more like. And the reason I brought up Martin Yol and always compare it to Ange is because Ange came from really shit leagues, and he still came in saying, "Oh, I always have my seconds." It was crap. And the difference is Martin Yol came in and goes, "Understand, I wasn't." He was even like only put in charge because Santini walked, right? So he wasn't even knew he wasn't first choice. The difference is he was never like arrogant. He was never humble. He never said anything against the fans. He never blamed anyone else for the problems. Even before he got sacked, they interviewed him. I remember, like the game before. So what are the problems at Tottenham? He goes set pieces. Like we keep conceding set pieces, and obviously got sacked straight like at the halftime of that game. But like he would always take responsibility, even Lasagna Gate.
Yeah, whereas Ange has just started deflecting. Ange has been allowed to use injuries for so long, and rather than owning it and use it to his advantage, he's lent on it so much that now he can't lean on injuries anymore. And it's not even that he can't lean on injuries. Like I said, this I stepped out on Thursday.
Yeah.
There was enough quality on that pitch to get a result.
One thing like a lot of great analogy I've seen is he thinks he's like Jose Mourinho, but really he's like Mike Bassett.
On the topic of thinking there's Jose Mourinho, this is completely off topic quickly, but do you see Arteta walked out of his interview when he was asked if the title race is over after there's a 15-point gap? Fucking Lego head prick.
What I'm saying is he thinks he's like Jose, but he has a sneak deal flipping Neil Lennon.
That's disrespectful. Neil Lennon won this. Oh, never mind.
But like, do you know what I mean? It's just like, and you need to know where you are. And I appreciate at the beginning that he was quite appreciative of getting the job. Like, I could see that.
Yeah.
But it's not enough for me to warm to you. Like, I just think you're
not even that though. But that faded. That's faded, and that's been gone a while. And it just
a lot of people lost him after the City game. You know, when we lost at home to City, and he said those words about the fan base and blah blah. A lot of people went after that because they're like, "You're taking shots at the fan base." Yeah.
Anyway, let's quickly because I don't want this to be an hour long. Fulham on Sunday, the first Sunday I worked in March, and I am absolutely.
Don't worry, you're not
looking forward to it. Exactly. Looking forward to working the Sunday for a change. It's great. Craven Cottage 1:30 kickoff. I'm going to go 3-0 Fulham.
Wow, we're for once going to agree. I'll say 3-0 Fulham as well.
Fuck off! No way.
Maybe I was 4-0 last year. Do you remember?
No, and I'd rather not remember.
Okay, but I remember before the Newcastle game, people were obviously predicting the result. And I'll never forget this. I wrote on someone's stream, and he doesn't really stream much anymore, like of anything actually. I go, this is going to be like the Fulham game. We lost 4-0 to Newcastle. I was like, I told you guys, we can't defend. but it's just, I don't know.
We'll talk about. There's no point talking about replacements till he's gone because I think the club are just going to.
Remember, we've got 2 weeks of international break, so the next game 6th of April against Chelsea after Fulham.
So do you think this is the time to sack him then?
I'm surprised.
Do you think if we lose on Thursday, do you think they sack him Thursday night / Friday morning, get Mason in for Sunday, and then give the new manager 2 weeks?
Maybe it could happen, but I don't know if they've got anyone in mind. Like,
I think they will have had somebody in mind the minute we
were in with Iriola and Frank.
That won't happen.
No, not now.
Honestly, I'd take Thomas Frank because I actually think he'd be really effective with the players we've got. The only thing is, I don't think he would be I don't think he'd be a long-term plan, but everyone said that about Nuno at Forest, and look, he's at the point now where
Frank will at least steady the ship. To be honest with you, I think.
Yeah, I think the minute they started preparing was the minute we went out to Villa in the Cup.
Oh, you think they were started from then?
I think that's when they started preparing, because they knew it was always a case of this Tottenham team was going to be a cup competition under him, cup team under him, and the minute we were on the verge of going out all of the cups, they were going to start planning, and we went out of two of the three at that point. So, but yeah, well, we're both predicting 3-0. Last week's title, I think, was actually a lot better in the podcast. I called it brilliant Bournemouth to batter Spurs.
Did it do better? Because I haven't checked.
18 views. The watch time was a lot better, though. I think that I'm going to keep going with that thumbnail style for a while because I enjoyed making it.
Yeah. As long as it worked. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do, and your camera height's a lot better as well. You remembered from last week, so it's great.
Don't worry.
This week, I might call it Fantastic Fulham to fuck Spurs.
Sorry, what?
No.
All right.
I might call it Marco Silva's Magic Men to beat Ange's arseholes.
Do you think he'll still? But if we lose on,
if we lose on Thursday, he won't be in the dugout on Sunday.
You don't think?
I know.
Then we have Mason.
Mason's already putting his suit on. He's already ironing the press. He's already gone to his dry cleaner. They've gone, that time of the year, mate. Yeah, that time of the year, mate.
You say that because I was trying to watch his demeanour on the touchline, like to see if there was changed at all. But I just don't think it has at all. Really, like Mason doesn't look a bit more confident or like.
Yeah, but this guy's a fucking snake. This guy's a wolf in sheep's skin, man.
He reminds me of Starscream in Transformers.
I'm trying to think of like someone who's proper grasped on someone.
No, because Starscream was always like trying to be bigger than Megatron. He never was bigger than Megatron. That's why I didn't reason why it's irrelevant.
Oh yeah, makes sense.
And then I remember when in the Bane movies, Megatron guy got killed and Starscream was like the leader, and then Megatron comes back and just chucks Starscream.
Just chucks him out, yeah. Fuck man, I need to rewatch the Transformers again. It's been a while.
There's a rumor that they might do another one with Michael Bay, but I don't know how true the rumor is. Personally, I don't mind the Bay Transformers. I don't think they're that bad. It's only
I enjoyed them personally.
I don't like the last night that was really bad though.
Yeah, that was not great.
The new one they did was pretty good though. Yeah, that wasn't.
I haven't seen the new one to be fair. I watched it in the end. I was going to watch it, but
I love them. Lockdown's my favorite villain out of the whole franchise.
Yeah.
It's mixed in.
I tell you what, one of my favorite ones was Revenge of the Fallen. That was one of my favorite ones.
You like that one? See, I like.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Dark Side of the Moon is my favorite.
Dark Side of the Moon was really good as well. Yeah.
You know, actually, for once, had a decent story. I was like, this is actually pretty good because they related it when they related to something.
What did you think to when they made the Bumblebee movie years ago? What did you think to that? I really liked it.
It was quite a good movie.
I thought it was a really good transition into how Bumblebee became Bumblebee, if that makes sense.
But also, he's quite a big character. Like, with Optimus, I don't think.
I would say Bumblebee is as popular as Optimus.
Yeah. For me, it was he's not really in any of the movies. What's his name? Hot Rod. I used to like in the cartoons.
Yeah. I love how the last 10 minutes of Spurs every week.
Ironhide. I like Ironhide as well.
Yeah.
But like, they did all right. But for me, the number 3 for some reason my favorite out of the whole 5-6 movies he did, Dark Side of the Moon, because when they relate to something like real life, I don't know why I just felt like I was like, this is actually a good storyline. This is actually relevant.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Like with the first one, obviously it was the introduction. They're like aliens and all that. Sam Witwicky.
He's brilliant.
And then the second one's kind of always all right. I can see why you like it though, because it's a bit the Fallen's quite.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then they did Age of Extinction, and that was with Mark Wahlberg. Remember, they changed those.
Yeah, that was good.
I actually like.
What's the one where
Lockdown?
What was the one where they went to the Space Center and got one of the Decepticons back? Didn't realize they were a Decepticon until after they brought him back, and then realized that he'd changed halfway through the Civil War.
Is that the first?
It's the old fighter jet. Do you know which one I'm on about?
Yeah. That's the second one.
And they bring him back, and then they realize he's a Decepticon, start panicking, and then he tells them that he's convinced he's changed size.
He fuses with that's Jetfire.
Oh, I can't remember.
No, it's not. I remember this because of the cartoon. When I was a kid, they used to have the Transformers cartoon on TV. I thought it was called Transformers something. Whatever it was, Prime or something like that. So that's why I remember all the characters. Because Optimus has a brother called Magnus or something. I remember.
I didn't know that. No.
They used to go together, combine together.
I never watched. This sounds a bit ancestral. I've never watched the. Never read the comic books. I just watched
anyway. With Optimus.
Yeah. But anyway, enough about Transformers. Spurs are shit. As I said in the intro, Levy's still bold. Ange's still out. Spencer's still a go.
Nothing left, I guess.
Nothing left. We'll catch you next week. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Please give us something to hope for.
Unfortunately. Come on, you Spurs, you fucking. Oh, quickly, actually, right. Scrap that exit. Fun fact for you guys. So I made a TikTok yesterday. People are going to be like, oh my God, he did an intro and then cancelled it. Whatever. Let me show you. I can't show you, but let me tell you about a TikTok I made. So I made it. Some guy asked me if I was alive when Spurs won the league. You fucking nuts. So basically, I made a TikTok. So my little brother started collecting the Panini sticker book. And I used to have Match Tax when I was a kid, right? But he has Panini stickers anyway. And he opened his first pack and he didn't get any Tottenham players.
Oh.
And I was like, who did you want? And he was like, at this point, just anyone. And I was like, okay. And then he was like, but I got an Arsenal player. And I was like, oh, okay. Who'd you get? He went, I don't know, I threw him in the bin. And I made that into a TikTok telling people it's on 7.3k views, 518 likes, 38 comments. Because his mum said, I'm not going to buy them if you throw them in the bin. And I went, well, there's 5,000 people that disagree with you. So, well, now it's 7,000, but yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much.
Catch you next week. Newcastle won, sorry.
Yeah, I saw 1-0. Anyway, catch you next week, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.